Welcome to the GCSE Maths Advantage. I'm Dr. James Carter, and every episode I'm going to break down one topic, show you where the marks are, and give you a quick win you can use in your next exam. Whether you're targeting a grade 7 or pushing for a 9, let's get into it.
Hook. This one fact will make you sit up. Last year, more than 1 in 5 students dropped marks on conditional probability questions simply because they mixed up which probability to multiply. Think about that. A single misordered multiplication and suddenly a 3-mark question becomes a 0. Sound familiar? If you've ever scribbled a tree and still got the answer wrong, this episode is for you.
Section 1. The concept. Let's build a probability tree from scratch, step by step. Imagine a simple 2-stage experiment. A packet contains red and blue counters, 60% red, 40% blue. You pick one counter, keep it, then pick again from the remaining counters. Or imagine instead that the second pick is with replacement. The difference is independence versus conditional probability. First rule. Label your first set of branches with the probabilities you're given. Here, 0.6 for red, 0.4 for blue. Write them clearly above the branches. Next, ask, does the second event depend on the first? If there is no replacement, it does. The probabilities change. If there is replacement, the probabilities stay the same.
Now draw the second layer of branches. For no replacement example, if you picked a red first, the chances of red on the second are now reduced. You'd calculate it as number of remaining red over total remaining. For a numerical question, they'd usually give numbers or percentages, work them out and write them on the second layer. Important, we read path probabilities as AND. To find P of first is red and second is blue, multiply along that path. First branch times second branch. That multiplication is not optional. It's how you move from the tree to a single probability.
Let's do a concise worked example. You draw one card from a bag containing 3 green and 2 yellow. You keep it, then draw again. What's the probability the first is green and the second is yellow? Step 1. P of first green equals 3/5. Step 2. Given first green, remaining are 2 green and 2 yellow. So P of second yellow given first green equals 2/4 equals 1/2. Multiply, 3/5 times 1/2 equals 3/10. Write both intermediate fractions on the script. Examiners love to see the method, and that fraction line is M1 territory.
Example B, expected value. Suppose a game gives you £2 if you draw 2 greens, 0 otherwise. Using the same tree, find the expected value. We first find P of 2 greens. Using the tree, P of first green equals 3/5. P of second green given first green equals 2/4 equals 1/2. Multiply, 3/5 times 1/2 equals 3/10. Expected value equals £2 times 3/10 plus £0 times 7/10 equals £6 equals 0.6 pence. Simple once your path probabilities are correct.
Section 2. Exam technique. Here's where the marks are and how to claim them. Most multi-step probability questions on AQA or Edexcel follow an M1, M1, A1 structure for a 3-mark question. M1 for a correct tree or a correct setup of conditional probabilities, M1 for the correct method, that is, multiplying along the path or summing path probabilities, and A1 for the final numerical answer. So even if you can't reduce the fraction or make a calculation error at the end, those 2 method marks are often yours for the taking if you write the intermediate steps clearly. The examiner wants to see the tree, the branch probabilities, and the intermediate product. A practical tip. Label your branches with both the conditional notation and the decimal or fraction. For instance, write P of R equals 3/5 and P of B given R equals 1/2 next to the branches. And then on the working line, write P of R and B equals 3/5 times 1/2 equals 3/10. That visible chain is exactly what examiners look for. If a question asks for at least one or either or, show the complementary path first.
That often wins the method mark for setting up the correct approach. Section 3. The quick win, 1-minute check routine, and guided practice. Quick win. Before you move on, do 3 checks. Trace each branch and say the path out loud, verify the probabilities of the final outcomes summed to 1, and write intermediate products on separate lines. This takes about 60 seconds and catches most common slips. Now, let's put that into action with a short, examiner-friendly worked question for 3 marks. Guided practice question aloud. A quiz has a 0.7 chance of a candidate answering Q1 correctly. If they get Q1 right, they have a 0.8 chance of answering Q2 correctly. If they get Q1 wrong, they have 0.3 chance of Q2 correct. Find the probability they answer both correctly. Step 1. Draw the tree. Branches Q1 correct 0.7, Q1 wrong 0.3. Step 2. Second layer probabilities. P Q2 correct, Q1 correct equals 0.8. P Q2 correct, Q1 wrong equals 0.3. Step 3. Multiply for the both correct path. 0.7 times 0.8 equals 0.56. Write that as P of both equals 0.56. That's likely an M1 setup plus M1 method plus A1 answer. Neat and examiner friendly. Don't skip the intermediate product line. That's your M1 evidence. Common pitfalls. Rapid fire. 1. Mixing up the order. P of A then B is not the same as P of B then A when events are conditional. 2. Forgetting to multiply along a path and instead adding the branch probabilities. 3. Failing to check whether the question is with or without replacement. 4. Not showing intermediate products. You lose easy method marks. Fix each by labelling, multiplying, and writing the products clearly. Let that sink in. Final quick win checklist you can use in the next practice. 1. Draw the full tree and label each branch with P of event or P of event/earlier event. 2. For each outcome path, multiply along the branches and write the product on a separate line. 3. If the question asks for a combined event, sum the relevant path products. 4. If asked for expected value, multiply each outcome value by its path probability and sum. Do those 4 steps every time. Marks are there for the taking. That's your quick win for today. If this helped, share it with a friend who's revising. You'll find more worked solutions, 3 practice prompts, and a printable probability tree cheat sheet at jcacademyonline.co.uk. Visit the site, download the sheet, and practice 1 tree a day. Trust the process. 1-sentence recap. Build the tree, multiply along paths, write intermediate products, and you'll pick up method marks even when the final arithmetic trips you up. That's your quick win for today. Stay curious.